Thank you for choosing the Flom Gospel Weekly's digital editions. This video will explain how to sign into your digital account, how to assign digital copies to your students, and how to share instructions with parents so that they may access the digital copies. Once you have received an email from Flom confirming your digital copies, go to gospelweeklies.com. In the Program Director section, you will find a digital edition guide. This guide contains detailed instructions on what we're about to cover in this video: how to sign into your account, how to give access to the digital editions to your students and their parents. There are two methods that we will discuss today. And then communicating with parents, we've given you two sample letters, one for each method. The instructions are simple, and parents should be able to create an account easily and access their material. There's also a frequently asked questions section of the digital edition guide. At the top of any page on the weeklies, click on the green icon to access digital editions. You do not have to create an account. Since you have purchased the material, your email address is already on file, and we have created an account for you. Simply enter your email address and the password PGW 2021. Then log in. You should be at the My Subscriptions page. If you're not, then the email address you have used to sign in is not registered with Flom. Please contact your Flom sales rep at 800-543-4383, or you may find their individual extensions and email addresses on the Gospel Weekly's website. In this case, this person has ordered Promise and 11 copies. In order to give access to these copies to your students, please click on Digital Rights. You will notice a list. This list contains room for 11 students. You'll notice it's broken into 2 pages. The more copies you will have more pages here. In order to give access to your students, there are 2 methods. The first method is to complete this page. You may directly type into these 3 fields, email address, first name, last name for each of your students. Please be sure to use the email address that parents have provided to you for your students. If you do not wish to type it directly, you may import a file, a Microsoft Excel file, containing those 3 fields. We've created one for you. Simply download the template and fill in the 3 fields. Once you have, save it on your computer and then import it here. Once it's imported, save it, and now each of the email addresses on your list will be registered, and therefore anyone signing in with an account using those email addresses will be able to access their materials. The second method is to provide this redemption code to parents. Doing this, you do not have to fill in this list. Simply click on this copy to clipboard symbol and then provide this redemption code to parents. Each parent who redeems one of these codes will then have their email address listed on this file. You will then have to fill in the first name and last name of the corresponding student who is associated with that email address. In both cases, however, you'll notice that the first copy is assigned to you. If you purchased a copy for yourself, you do not need to do anything to the first line. However, if these 11 copies were designated for 11 students and there is not one for me, the customer, I need to clear myself off so that 11 students may be added to this list. In either case, only give the code or list the names of the same number of students who you have purchased copies for. If you wish to add copies, if you wish to purchase additional copies, even if it's only one more for yourself or for a teacher or a catechist, please contact your FLOM sales representative. We'll be happy to help you. Once an email address is on the list, or once someone has redeemed a code, this list of digital rights will be completed, that you will be able to see that list all throughout the year. You will also be able to see when was the last date that each of these students accessed the digital copies. Let's now look at what a parent sees. We've listed a parent and given them access to 2 different editions. You'll notice the parent does not have a My Subscriptions tab, only My Library. When the parent comes here, they will access the material from My Library. I'm going to take you back to the first page. In this case, it's Good News English. I'd like to point out 3 new features of the digital edition this year. The first is a direct link to the parent teaching pages at gospelweeklies.com. The parent teaching pages are easy-to-use guides that walk parents through teaching each lesson with step-by-step instructions. They can find the English or the Spanish parent teaching guides for any edition and for each week of the year. The second link is to the online assessments. Students go directly to the assessment page of the weeklies and choose the unit or the lesson that they wish to take the assessment for. The third new feature this year is a direct connection between the lesson and the catechism handbooks, what the church believes and teaches. Here's an example. In this lesson, you're told to go to page 16 of the catechism handbook. Click on page 16 and page 16 of the catechism handbook will open directly. These are 3 links that we hope will make it easier for students to use the material each week. In the frequently asked questions section, you will find some answers to questions like, what if I have more than one child? Can they use the material at the same time? The answer is yes. They simply need to sign in from different computers. We hope that this has been a helpful guide in accessing the digital editions of the Gospel Weeklies, and we hope that you and your students enjoy the program throughout the year.